Hello there, you're welcome back to my channel. I'm NFA Teso and you are watching Moments of Refreshing. If there's someone's results you really like, if there's something they have done that you really admire and you would like to reproduce, all you have to do is find out what they did to achieve that result. And if you can follow that principle or even put in more effort, you are bound to get that same result. So today we're looking at the life of a great man called Jack Coe. He was known as a man of reckless faith. It was said that his faith was reckless and challenging. He was a preacher with a stick. Jack Coe was born in 1918 into a family that was so poor that it was hard to get by. Jack Coe's father was a drunk and a gambler. By the time Jack Coe was age 5, his father had gambled away all of their properties and left them. His mother had to take care of Jack Coe and his siblings, but it was just too much for her. So she took Jack Coe and his brother to an orphanage. So Jack Coe had to leave and grow up in an orphanage even though both his parents were alive. As a result of all of this, Jack Coe began to drink. He became an alcoholic and drank until his health deteriorated. He developed ulcer and a heart condition and was at the point of dying. When he met his doctor, the doctor told him the next bottle of alcohol he takes will kill him. He tried to stop, but he couldn't. He found himself with another bottle of alcohol, and this time he was really going to die. But then he prayed, God, I don't want to die and I don't want to go to heaven. Please give me another chance. God did give him another chance because instantly he was miraculously healed. This was the turning point of Jack Coe's life. Jack Coe began to look for God. Now, Jack Coe was a man that recorded a lot of miraculous and amazing testimonies in his ministry. When Jack Coe organized a meeting, many would come from everywhere because the news of his meetings spreaded like wildfire. People would come from all across the city and even outside the city. Many times his team had to turn thousands of people down because there was no space to accommodate them, even though they had rented larger and larger tents. But it simply just wasn't enough. In Jack Coe's meetings, people would receive their healings. Blind eyes would open, deaf ears opened. People miraculously got up from stretchers and walked. Missing body parts appeared. There were just a lot of amazing testimonies to be recorded. This man was a publisher of the Healing Herald, a magazine that circulated over 250,000 copies yearly at that time. This man's programs were broadcast in over 100 radio stations every week. It was an amazing life Jack Coe had. What was the secret of this man's greatness? It was said that after Jack Coe gave his life to Christ, Jack Coe would go to church every night and stay till the early hours of the morning praying and studying. He loved to study the Word of God so much. At a point, the closest church to his house was 45 miles away. But Jack Coe would walk 5 miles and hitchhike the rest of the way to church. This man was so much into God that at a point he was admitted into a psychiatric home where the doctors diagnosed him of psychoneurosis. That's a condition called religious fanaticism. Of course, he wasn't a religious fanatic. He was just so much into God. It was also said that Jack Coe had a very, very positive attitude. Despite everything he went through in his background, he never allowed it hold him back. It might have influenced his attitude, but it never stopped him from achieving what he wanted to achieve. No wonder this man succeeded. He was all about everything he needed to do to get out of that life. Even though it was very difficult, Jack Coe accepted God's instruction to go into full-time ministry. Of course, at that time it was never sure what was going to happen. But despite that, he heeded God's instruction and went into full-time ministry. He sold everything he had packed his family up and moved. Jack Coe was also imprisoned severally for disturbing the peace of the neighborhood. But that never stopped him. He went right on to do what God had called him to do. He never gave up. Jack Coe was also known as a man of dogged faith. It was said that his faith was reckless and challenging. And the reason for this was because he knew that God would take care of him and he held God by his conviction. Well, did Jack Coe make mistakes? Yes, he did. One of Jack Coe's mistakes was he did not pay attention to his health at all. It was said that Jack Coe ran very tight and extremely rigorous schedules. He never had time to rest. And because of that, he also developed unhealthy eating habits. He wouldn't eat for a very long time, and then when he had to eat, he ate at 3 a.m. in the morning. His health was greatly affected, and as a result, he died at an early age of 38. We really need to take care of our bodies, because whatever dreams we have, whatever ministries or calling we have, we need to use this body to fulfill it. And if we don't take care of it, it will just die, our spirit will return to heaven, and our assignments will be over. Jack Coe's second mistake was that he was very competitive. He always measured himself up with other ministers. If this minister had this, Jack Coe wanted to have a bigger one. If the other minister had that, Jack Coe wanted to have a bigger one. We can just do what we are called to do without comparing ourselves to others. It's okay to want to grow more, but grow because that is what you are called to do, not because someone else is doing it. Now we've learned about the life of Jack Coe. We've seen his secrets and we have seen his errors. What do you need to stop doing today? And what do you need to start doing? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. If you've not subscribed yet, now is a good time to do so. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Bye.